you do have children where they love to read, but the time isn't there for them at home, so they're time poor. I had a conversation with my class the other day actually about bedtime stories, and we were talking about how do we relax, and I said one of the ways that I relax is I will read to myself before I go to sleep. And we got into bedtime stories. I was like, well, how many of you do have parents that read a bedtime story to you? And I was surprised actually, not many hands went up. And I went, is it because of time? Why is it? And they were like, yeah, Dad doesn't have time, or Mum doesn't have time. And so I said, well, okay, how many of you would like a bedtime story at home? So I thought, okay, I'm going to use this now. I'm going to let parents know these children are asking for bedtime stories. So we've got parents' evening coming up, and it's something that I'm going to put out on the tables. Have you seen this from Book Trust in terms of developing readers at home and ways that you can read at home with your children? On the door, just sort of those 5 to whatever seconds you have at the end of the day, start of the day, catch them and just talk about their reading. Ask them about reading diaries. It's almost incidental opportunities, because that then builds a relationship with parents as well. I don't ever want a parent to feel that they can't approach me. I want them to sort of be queuing to speak to me about something, because it tells me that they trust me, they want me to know something. And inviting them into the reading spaces as well. So that might be online to begin with, so they can see the children enjoying it. We've got a little reading year 2 book as well. So that was one of the children's idea about, why don't we make our own book of memories? And we've started to make our book of memories. So again, parents' evening, that will be out for the children to share with the parents to say, look, this is what we're doing in school. But I think it's about creating memorable experiences. One of the things that we did last year when we were rewarding effort in reading, it wasn't to do with the time, it was to do with effort and just trying your best with it. Sometimes I don't think that gets rewarded enough, that actually, yeah, they might be on a lower level, but they're trying really, really hard, and those incremental steps of progress need to be noticed. In all honesty, it does start with rewards, it does start with dojos and things like that, so there needs to be something to incentivise reading at home. But then gradually, what I find, and I can say hand on heart, they don't care about the dojos or things because they're more invested in wanting to talk about the book. But I think making sure that you have time in the day to say, look, we're going to talk about our reading or share our reading, that is essential, because if you don't have time during the day or during the week to do that, what you're teaching the children is, it isn't important. I can timetable maths, I can timetable phonics, things like that, that's important. But if you don't actually timetable specific time just to enjoy and talk about books that you've read at home, they're not going to see the value in it. I've noticed children will bring in books from home and they want to share them as part of our story escape, or they've gifted them, or we'll do book votes, or listen to certain stories that they've all enjoyed. But I think making sure that you make space in the timetable during the day is essential, because otherwise the children can think, well, what's the point? I've read at home, but Miss doesn't care enough because we haven't had any time to talk about it. So time, scheduling in that time and that expectation that there must be something that we want to talk about.